Enock Mpianzi's family is conducting its own independent investigation into his death. They are not confident in the Gauteng Education Department's forensic report and say those responsible must face the consequences. It's almost 2 months since Mpianzi drowned on a school camp. ENCA's Zikhona Chona joins me now for a conversation with the Mpianzi family lawyer, Ian Leviton. So, Zikhona, we expect that this report by the Department of Education will be possibly released later on today, but there was a bit of toing and froing as to whether the family had given it the go-ahead for the release of that report. You are about to be in conversation with Ian Levitt. What is he telling us?
So the family and its lawyers have been in meetings with the Department of Education for the better half of this morning to have discussions around the forensic report being released at around 6 o'clock this evening. We expect the MEC of Education in the province, Panyaza Lesufi, to hold a press briefing at the school where he will be releasing the department's investigation into the death of Enock Mpianzi. But of course, the family is saying that they want to conduct their own investigation. As you understand, this is a death that shocked many, that broke many people's hearts in the country. A young boy just starting grade 8, and this is not a story that a mother would want to relive. So the lawyer is here with me, and he's told me that the meeting was very emotional and very dramatic.
Very distressing. Very distressing.
What can you tell us on the record as far as the report is concerned? What has the department been able to tell you?
Well, on the record, I can tell you that there's been a lot of non-cooperation with the department's investigation. In regard to the investigation that they have undertaken, they have made very startling allegations and findings against a number of people, including recklessness and negligence, and it was extremely distressing for a family to relive once again the hours and days leading up to their child's death.
How did the family receive what they've seen in the report?
Well, they haven't gone through the whole report. It's over 200 pages. We're just in the process of distributing it amongst the legal team and the investigating team. We not only, earlier on you mentioned that we want to conduct our own investigation, we are conducting our own investigation at a very high level. And it was extremely distressing. We've given the family want to take a few days to digest what has been told to them, to understand that there were 4 previous deaths at Inyati. 4 children have died there. Where are those families who have lost their children? Why did the GDE or the department not shut down this place? What has happened to the criminal investigations regarding those children? It's madness.
Now, of course, the department had wanted to release the report 2 weeks prior to today, and they held back on that release, saying that they wanted to receive the family's blessings. Do they have the family's blessings now to go ahead with this evening?
Well, we actually discussed that. We took a few minutes after the high-level summary was given to us by the MEC's attorney. After having listened to what took place to poor Enoch for the days and hours before his death, the family were in no emotional state to give blessings, to release a report. They were in a complete and emotional state, but they did understand that the report must be released forthwith. There's many people that need to be held account, and we advised the MEC that we had no problem in him releasing the report.
And why is it important for the family to conduct their own investigation outside of this report that we have? What is it that you don't trust the education department will get to the bottom of?
It's not a matter of not trusting the education department not getting to the bottom of. They have specifically told us in the meeting that they were unable to conduct certain interviews, that there was non-cooperation, for example, from Inyati, that they on their own found people that did cooperate, that found to be their versions found their versions to be wanting. We need to interrogate that further, and we will interrogate that further. That is why we have to interrogate these people ourselves.
And for you, with what you've gone through so far, what has been the most damning of what you've seen?
There's a lot. There's an absolute what's damning is that there were adults, there were children, there were people of responsibility, and it seems that the adults specifically and the people that had the obligations to look after the children did not do so. They were reckless. They were negligent. There's a lot of evidence to this effect. To even suggest that they had the wrong roll call, for example, which led them only to possibly know 1 or 2 days later that a child had died tragically, is an absolute disgrace. How does a school embark on a function, on a course, on a go away, without knowing who's on the bus with them? It's madness.
Thank you so much. That's Ian Levitt, the attorney of the family of Enock Mpianzi. Now, of course, we do expect, as I've mentioned earlier, Panyaza Lesufi, the Gauteng Education MEC, to release the department's forensic investigation into the death of Enock Mpianzi. The family's attorney saying that the family is in no position to give blessings as far as the education department is concerned with going ahead with the release of the report, but saying that they understand that the department has to do what it has to do. This is a very high-profile case. A lot of people are interested in finding out what the department has been able to investigate and into the cause, or who was implicated in the death of Enock Mpianzi.
All right, Zikhona Chona, thank you so much for that update. That's ENCA's Zikhona Chona in conversation there with Ian Levitt, who is an attorney representing the Mpianzi family, talking about how they are actually in the process of conducting their own investigation. I want to